Hello, and welcome back to Let's Play Dark Souls. First things first, let's get the most important thing out of the way. Yes, everyone pointed out you actually can slide down ladders in this game. Like last time I mixed up controls, it was because in Dark Souls 2 you hold the run button to go up a ladder, to like sprint up a ladder or slide down a ladder. In Dark Souls 1, you can't sprint up ladders at all, and I'm sure someone's gonna fuck me over by telling me, no, you totally can. But if you just hold the run button, you will slide down ladders. Very useful for doing things quickly. Very spooky floating message. I actually really love when people set these kinds of things. Like, it takes really weird messing with the geometry to get a message that isn't actually on the ground. This one they were probably like standing on the bonfire if I had to guess. But I don't know too much about that. What I do know about is that people also pointed out that I missed some lore. So let's just jump into that. With the Estus Flask, it's one of the most important items of the game, and it really didn't just click with me to check the description like I've been doing with everything else, so sorry about that. Estus Flask. The undead treasure, these dull green flasks. There should probably be a comma in there, but yeah. Fill with Estus at bonfire. Fills HP. The Estus Flasks are linked to the Fire Keepers. The Dark Tales also make reference. An emerald flask from the Keeper's soul. She lives to protect the flame, and dies to protect it further. So, again, storytelling, just, you know, in the item descriptions of the game. You might see this on a loading screen and be intrigued. It's really good, and I love it. It links the Estus Flasks to the Fire Keeper, like the mute lady that we found back at the back at Firelink Shrine. It talks about the Dark Tales, which I'm not actually sure if they're referenced, you know, anywhere else in the game. It might be in some other item descriptions. But it's little touches like that that sort of make it feel like they're giving you puzzle pieces to put together, and that's really the way that this entire story is told. Of particular interest in this item description is the talk about the Keeper's soul and how she protects the flame in both life and death. And it hints again at the whole burning of things. You know, we had the Homeward Bones talk about the bones of the undead and how they fuel the fires, and we talk about, and this sort of hints at the way that the Fire Keepers actually die, give up their life's essence for these flames. It's all over here. You get this notion, you know, even from the starting cutscene of the game, there's this notion that fire is inherently destructive, that it can't last forever. And it's the sort of thing that really is very easy to miss about this game. You know, the whole idea of the game is that everything here is transient, but it's always told in such subtle ways instead of banging you over the head with it. It's neat. I also missed the copper coin. Copper coin made of copper. Its face shows Old Man McLoif, god of medicine and drink. Even coins of great value in the world of men have little value in Lordran, where the accepted currency is souls. Those who dream of returning to the outside world are fond of carrying these around. Again, really minor, fairly inconsequential, but it shows, you know, another god. It really helps build out this pantheon, and it's something that you can really understand at a base level, you know. Everyone talks about the undead curse, about being chased from their homes. It makes perfect sense that people would keep mementos like this. Did I, like, not rest at the bonfire last time? Probably. I guess not, considering that they're dead. Interesting that the drake seems to have spawned with its tail back. I honestly don't know how that works. Yeah, I guess I just didn't sit down at the bonfire last time when I ended the last video. Huh. That is one neat thing about this game. Enemies that are dead will tend to stay dead for as long as... basically until you rest at another bonfire. I think that if you go, like, 2 areas over and completely load this area out, it might lose track. But other than that, like, you have to go really, really far. If I were to wander into the next area, these corpses would still be here. And, like, come back, these corpses would still be here. So that's pretty cool. Also cool is the way to progress is kind of blocked off by the Drake's Shadow here. It's a really, really neat effect that even if you don't go and cut its tail off, it's still like, yeah, I'm still here, buddy. Oh dear. These rats are a surprisingly difficult combat challenge, just because of this location that you find yourself in. The strategies... Oh, Jesus. I know they could, like, double attack like that. Do I have anything that cures poison? I don't think I do. Nope. Guess we'll just have to... I don't know how many S's last. Sorry, I'm gonna go back to the bonfire for this, so be right back. I'll try next time not to get owned so hard. Okay, as I was saying, this combat counter is actually pretty difficult for, you know, what it initially appears. Mostly because of the location that you find yourself in. I mean, you're basically... You could either run straight into here to try to get away from the death ledge, but if you do that, you will be ambushed by a third rat, and this combat encounter is pretty tough, because odds are you won't be wearing poison-resistant armor, and it's, as I've amply demonstrated, very easy to get yourself poisoned at a point in the game where you just don't really have any way to cure poison. So, it's pretty tough, and the game really, really ramps itself up quickly. And I really like that about it. I'm not actually going to go up these stairs. There's another Black Knight up here, and I've already beaten one. I'm not really in a mood to go beat another one. Instead, let's make some actual progress by murdering these dudes. Come over here. One thing you might notice is that I'm actually doing less damage to these same hollows. Like, this is the same dead hollow soldier from before, from the last zone, but they actually have better armor now. And of course the game presents you with this next. I really, really like the framing. You know, you kill this one guy, you get that to kind of draw your attention in this direction, and then it basically just hands you the next combat challenge, and it's like, okay, that's pretty ugly looking, and I see those archers up there, and god, there's some other guys. That's a bit scary. The game sets up a lot of these combat encounters really well. Also worth noting that if you end up going the other direction, there's a thrown down portcullis, but also a promise that you can get over this way, thanks to the bonfire that's just sitting right there. Of course, given the fact that there doesn't seem to be a switch anywhere nearby, it becomes very quickly obvious, especially from the Drake's Shadow here, that there's only one way that you're going to be able to get through that. It's really good, I guess, gameplay foreshadowing. I'm not really sure what the best way to talk about that is, but yeah, that's I guess the word that I'm going to use for it. Anyway, something that I would like to mention, just because you might not notice it. That other portcullis way back there, I hope that's what a gate, a hatched gate like that is actually called. But whatever. That gate is actually open right now. Once I actually run into the area, it will end up closed very, very quickly. And it will stay closed pretty much every other time that I try to come through the area. The reason for this is that one of the 2 hollows on the left side of the boar there, when it notices you coming, instead of running to attack you, it will actually run over to the gate and close it. If you have a bow and arrow, you can actually snipe the guy as he runs away. And like the gate will never close itself. You'll basically keep that gate open for the rest of the game and be able to avoid an actually fairly decent area. Let's see if I could get the guy to do it, or if the boar is gonna charge me. Okay, yeah, see, he's turning around and running away. Boar. Trying to prove a point here. Whatever. Pretty sure I made... Yeah, I actually missed a guy back here. Oops. Get out of here. So yeah, this is another trap that I actually kind of fell into. In fact, I'm really hoping I didn't aggro the guy behind me. I also seem to have gotten the boar stuck on something. Oh, it's trying to walk through that post. Pathing, AI pathing in this game can sometimes be an issue. Let's call it. It presents me with a golden opportunity to do a thing that I wasn't sure if I was gonna do, but oh no, he noticed me. Never mind. This dude is big, and you don't do much damage to him. However, you'll notice if you look at his model that there's a bit of an opening. Oops. Of course, you gotta be brave enough to go for it. Or just fast enough. You can... Oh dear. This was a mistake! Oops. I was just slightly out of position, but what I'm trying to show off is that you can backstab the boar. Maybe we'll do that when there aren't archers shooting at us. Because those two can be real pieces of shit. Especially since they're guarded by a spearman who are slow and kind of nasty. And it's, again, you can see the encounter design ramping up in every single room. You know? This is actually meant to be a decent challenge for you at this point. The game realizes that if you've made it this far and haven't given up in frustration, you're probably willing to put up with some shit. I'm also doing this really badly and getting invaded. Okay, this is about to go very, very poorly. Jesus. I might actually need to shut up to concentrate here, because this is a bit of a worse situation than I would normally be in. Oh, Jesus. There we go. I might at least clear these guys out in time for the Dark Spirit, who will likely come up behind me while I'm murdering this guy. If I had, yes. Oh, shit. I've done a bad thing. So yeah, you'll notice that portcullis. Hello there. Oh good, this is also a jackass who has like ridiculous items. Holy shit, the boar never went this far! I've never seen that before. Oh, you have got to be kidding me. Hello there. So this guy has a nice ring. They don't look as kitted out as I thought they'd be. In fact, if they really want to do a dance of joy. Invasions in this game are still sort of an odd thing. Like, different people sort of have different ideas of what they want from invasions. Aw, they're gonna be nice! Or they're gonna murder me as soon as I go for that. I don't know. Maybe they think I'm a new player. Yeah, I got it. Shall we? Oh, wow, they're even communicating with me here. Alright. They really do want to fight. Let's go. It's a bleeding weapon. You'll notice the netcode in this game isn't, you know, great. Like, who knows if that was supposed to be a backstab or not. Oof. Oh, there's the parry. That's a mask. Yeah. PvP, people. You know how it goes. Or maybe you don't. I don't know. The PvP community in this game is very weird because it's not really a game that does PvP extremely well. I'm not really sure how I could say that. It's very imbalanced in that you can do a lot of really cheesy things with it to have a very good PvPe build. But yeah, I guess I get to show that off too. There's still a lot of people playing this game. And since I sort of like being human, because I like not having a super ugly face, I'll probably get invaded a good amount. May or may not have interesting things to say about that. Okay, so as I was saying before I was so rudely invaded. In fact, I'm not 100% sure. Oh yeah, the game's combat encounters very quickly scale up in difficulty. Like, this is really just set up to make you, you know, just to be a much more difficult combat encounter, and also to be one that you have to take very methodically. I mean, if you just rush in here, that boar is going to give you a really hard time, and you're going to have two archers shooting at you, and this soldier, the one to my right, this soldier just all on top of you, and it's very easy for you to just die. Ah. This is also not the easiest combat encounter, specifically because you're in a hallway now. If you're using a long straight sword like I am, it's very easy for you to just hit the walls and bounce off of them. This does damage to your weapon and stops your swing, leaving you, like, really, really open. So again, the game is teaching you all of these lessons in an extremely natural, oops, that was supposed to be a kick, an extremely challenging way. Ah, I messed that one up. I mean, granted, I'm just doing this so much more quickly than I normally would, which is why I'm taking so much damage and using so much Estus. We'll make it work. A spear also is much easier. Oh, Jesus. I let that happen. Yeah, I'm trying to do this way too quickly. I am going to switch to a spear. Because another lesson that you should really learn early on in this game is don't get too married to the weapons that you have. I mean, once you start upgrading things, having it makes more sense, but there's definitely weapons that make a lot more sense in certain contexts. And this part of the game, I feel, really teaches you that a spear and shield is a fantastic combo, especially in a place with a ton of narrow ledges and with a lot of archers shooting at you. The reason for that is that I can actually poke things with my shield, or, sorry, poke things with my spear from behind my shield. And that's super useful, because it means you can be blocking arrows, but still taking out, but still, you know, doing meaningful damage to things. Come on, die. Oof, did not have enough stamina for that. It means you can do things like this rat encounter, sort of just turtle behind your shield and poke away at these rats until they die. Now granted, there are downsides to this type of attack. As you can see, when my shield is up like this, my stamina does not regenerate nearly as quickly. So if enemies are attacking me and I'm attacking with my spear, I will run out of stamina extremely quickly and be extremely vulnerable to staggers. So there's pluses and minuses with everything. The whole weapon system is really balanced around the PvE experience, honestly. But yeah, you'll notice that I'm not just instantly destroying these guys as soon as I break their parries like I was with the ones in the Undead Bird. No, you don't. Alright. Slow and steady and all that. This is one of the areas that I do tend to rush a little bit, and you can kind of see where my impatience is costing me. And again, it's the game teaching lessons. I also really have fucked up my backstab positioning. There we go. I'm not sure exactly what it is, if they've like changed it for Dark Souls 2 or something like that. There we go. See? You'll notice that this is going much more smoothly than it was before. And of course it makes sense that it would. This is still kind of a difficult encounter, just in general, because I do still want to kick this fucker. There we go. You're invulnerable while backstabbing, so quite useful for that. You'll also notice, as an added wrinkle to this combat encounter, when you run up here, that swordsman basically puts you on a clock. Like, he's gonna come up here and he's gonna bother you. And then if you let these guys live before he gets here, they'll basically just go right back to shooting you. More useless gear. It's a really neat encounter setup. I'm not actually sure why that guy isn't... Oh! He got stuck, that's why. Pathing in Dark Souls, it's good. You okay over there? There we go, I think he got past because the boar was turned away from me. One thing that I finally want to talk about, at least once I murder this dude, is that there are a fuck ton of ways that you can kill this boar. Like, the game puts a super powerful... Oh no, I just knocked him down. Oh, damn it. Do I... Nice. Did I not kill him? Oh, good. So yeah, the game puts a really heavily armored, incredibly hard to damage enemy right in your path in this. And it's a mini-boss, so it only spawns once. But it basically presents you with this puzzle. And it gives you a lot of potential solutions. Like, for example... Why am I losing lock on this thing? Fireballs don't do much, or fire bombs don't do much, but they're a pretty good way of, you know, just throwing it down from a safe distance. Sorry about that. As I alluded to before, they have an unarmored butt that you can stab them in, which I think I will try to show off, but no promises. Well, we'll see how long this takes. Hello there. As you can see, my backstabs are already kind of off. First place. Oh, Jesus. Did that just break through your shield? Huh. There we go. Yep. Stab him right in the butt, do a bunch of damage. Stupid unarmored butts. But even more than that, the game also gives you a really neat and subtle hint using item placement. Let's take our soapstone off for now. So, Alluring Skull. I just attracts certain types of enemies. A skull with meekly lingering souls. Throw to shatter and spread souls to attract certain types of enemies. Souls are a concentration of life, and the life-starved hollows are lured in by its power. Not effective for all enemies. But by putting this item here, the game is sort of giving you an invitation. You know, it's on this body right here, and there's a little message here that someone left, says try fire. Oops, I apparently can't cycle through items while I have a message up. Interesting. Now if I can throw this just right, it will attract the boar. And oh, come on. Might need to throw it like this. And it will actually push it right into the fire. And it will kill the boar. So, even when it's ramping up the challenges like this, the game is still asking you to look around. You know, when you hit this thing with your stupid 7 damage spear, the game says to you, look, there's clearly more to this than what we're presenting you with right at the start here. Do you drop any items? No, we do not. And the game gives you actually a lot of ways to solve this combat puzzle. It's sort of a promise that, yes, you're going to be able to do to do interesting things if you pay attention. You'll also notice that this hollow soldier that ran away the first time actually just started behind this thing. So, pretty neat. He'll be there until we go kill him, and I don't believe he respawns afterwards. And because we let him do that and close this gate, we have to take the low road